just got out of the Odyssey. It was a good movie. I wouldn't say it's not a bad movie. It's a good movie. It's worth watching. I recommend going to see it and forming your own opinion on it. It's not great. It's not masterpiece level. Oppenheimer was better. Oppenheimer was definitely better as a whole movie. But it is a good movie. There are some amazing parts in the Odyssey. There's a couple parts in it that really hit me strong and that were extremely well done. That 10 out of 10 scenes definitely exist in the movie. But as a whole, the movie is lacking in certain aspects. It's coherent. It actually is more coherent than I expected it to be. It follows a good pace. It moves well. It doesn't feel like 3 hours, which is good. It doesn't feel like 3 hours. The beginning is weak. It's setting everything up. It's a little slow. The characters are weak. And this is where the casting comes in. The casting hits you right off the bat. Let me give you the good before I get into spoilers. The music is great. It matches the tone of the movie pretty much perfectly. Matt Damon is great as Odysseus. Tom Holland is okay. He's not perfect in his role. Zendaya did better in her role than I thought. She's limited, but she's in it more than other characters. Elliot Page's character is very limited. The woman, I forget her name because it's such a crazy name, but the one who played Helena Troy in Gato, her last name, she's very limited in it as well. They pull up the whole Helena Troy launched 1,000 ships thing line in it. And then they show her face during that and how it's scarred. So I think they're trying to play on that a little bit. But to get into spoilers here, oh yeah, and the ending is really good. The ending is really good. The fight scene at the end is a little all over the place, not the best shot. It's a little hard to follow, but it's not bad. But the ending is very well done, actually. It actually like got me choked up, and not because of the actual ending, but certain aspects of the ending I'll get to, and spoilers. But to get into spoilers, so right now, cut off 3 minutes, cut off for spoiler talk. Okay, spoilers now. The movie opens up with Ellen Page's character right off the bat, and the whole Battle of Troy and the Trojan horse. And man, she just instantly throws the movie off like bad. Like it's hard. It's so hard to look at her. I know we're supposed to say Elliot Page or whatever, but it's so hard to look at her and get invested in the character because it's supposed to be a man, but it's so hard. It is so hard to get your mind wrapped around her being a man. It really, really is. And I don't care if you're like an ally of the side or whatever. It's just, as a moviegoer, to see it in a movie, it is difficult to get your head around it. And it takes you out of the movie. It really does instantly. And the same with the Helena Troy thing. Now, I'm not saying they're acting bad. I'm just saying the casting doesn't fit the role, and it's so apparent that it really does take you out of it. Ellen Page's role, it really suffers from it, and it opens up instantly in the movie with that. So it really deteriorates the movie right off the bat. So it gives you kind of like this weird it's not off-putting, it's not really the best way to describe it, but it gives you this tone shift, this weird tone to the movie that you don't know how to grasp onto, you don't know how to judge it right. But then the movie does get into a good groove as a movie. And then all the actual characters that fit their roles more carry the movie and get it going to where it should be. And then when you start following Odysseus and his travels, it gets a lot better. It still takes a little bit of time to pick up. And even when it gets to the Cyclops scene, when they're in the cave, that was actually one of my least favorite scenes of Christopher Nolan's in this movie. It was a little slow and boring and paced badly. It really was. And it was shot kind of weird. When Odysseus jumped back into the cave to get his men, I understand why he does it, but the way it's shot is kind of weird. And then the Cyclops looks cool. It's real gritty and realistic looking, and the eye is really off-putting, but in a good way. But it was just a slow, for what it should have been, it was too slow. It was just too slow. And just not well shot. Which is rare for Christopher Nolan, actually. But after the Cyclops scene, it gets really good. It gets better. The scene where they go into the Forest of Giants is it's better than the Cyclops scene, but it's kind of haphazard. It feels like the trees are moving around, which is cool, and then the giants are there slaying everybody. It's okay, it's serviceable. And then that leads into like the sirens and the whirlpool, and those scenes are badass. That's when it starts getting into the real meat and the real badassness of the movie. The siren scene was great. It gets you really thinking in your mind about life and stuff, and how Odysseus hears the siren song, and he's the only one who can hear it, and all the soldiers can't. And just to see his emotions, and then to hear Matt Damon describing why he's reacting the way he is to the song is great. Very well done. It really gets you thinking in your mind about life and all the things you've left behind and the decisions you've made and how those have impacted your mind. Like, it's a really good scene. The siren scene is really fucking good. One of the top scenes. The whirlpool scene's really good. The scene before all that, when he learns about everyone's fate, is good, when he talks to all the dead people, and that's where Elliot Page's character comes in again, and it pulls you out again a little bit. When she is on screen again, it pulls you out, and she's covered in this blood and soot and dirt, and it still pulls you out of it, because you just can tell as a human looking at her that it's not a man. You just can tell. So it just pulls you out just a little bit. But then after that, that's the last you see of her. And it's so sad because Sinan's story is good, but the casting of that character is just, it really drags it down. It really does. And I'm really trying to not let my biases, I don't really think they're biases. I think this is just natural human instinct at play here. But I'm trying not to let it do that, and it's still very freaking hard not to let it affect what I saw. But that's the last you see of Ellen Page. Then it gets to the whole dealing with the suitors at Ithaca and him reuniting with his son and the plan. And man, I gotta say, the one scene that really hit me hard, that got me choked up. So if a movie can do that, I can give it respect. But this is definitely more subjective for me. The dog scene at Ithaca, where the dog is waiting for him, and he finally gets to see his dog, his loyal dog, and the dog dies because he knows he finally got to see his master again. Man, that hit me. That was a good scene, man. And that showed that loyalty of that dog, where the humans were losing their way right there around that dog. And see Odysseus's strength in that scene, in his understanding of what that dog had gone through, and then now what he needed to do after that dog passed. That dog was a perfect representation, a symbol, exactly what Odysseus needed. Great scene. That dog scene hit me good. That was the best scene, in my opinion, of the movie. It was small, too. And then you get to the end when he takes back the castle, which is good. Like I said, the fight scene's a little all over the place. It's not as bad as like Taken 2 level types of camera work, but it's about midway there, where the camera's a little all over the place, but you can still make out what's going on, and it's still really good. And then the actual ending, where he exiles himself pretty much to go honor the fallen soldiers and pretty much to atone for everything that he was responsible for was really well done. It was a good movie. I'd say it's about like a 7.25 out of 10 kind of movie. Oppenheimer was like an 8.5 to me. Oppenheimer was a very, very good movie. Well made, well paced. The characters were good. The casting was on point. Just all around as a whole movie, Oppenheimer's way better. This is about, like I said, 7.25. I'd say like a C+. C+ movie, The Odyssey. It has some masterful scenes in it. Masterful. Some scenes that hit me really hard. Some well done scenes. Some great camera work. The music is top notch. Some of the acting is top notch. Let's see. Anne Hathaway was great. Leguizamo was really good, actually. And I don't like that guy in real life. I really don't like Leguizamo, but I'll give him his due in this movie. He did a real good job in his role. He had a mid role. But overall, yeah, 7.25 out of 10. Go see it, form your own opinion, but not as good as Oppenheimer. I would actually put it there with about the same level as Tenet. Unfortunately, I'd say it's slightly better than Tenet. Slightly better than Tenet. But there, I think that's a pretty honest opinion, pretty honest review. About 12-minute review. I wonder if any of y'all will actually watch this whole thing. If you do, watch this entire thing, please leave a comment. I think I'm pretty good at reviewing movies. But go see it for yourself. I recommend you go see it. I don't think it's a masterpiece. I do not think it should win Picture of the Year at the Oscars. And the casting alone is pretty much the downfall of it. And it's not cliched, I don't think, to say that. And I think if you go see the movie, you'll see that the casting choices, there's only a few of them, but those few casting choices really do kind of like drag, and you could feel it dragging the movie just so slightly, just ever so slightly, and it's just enough to affect it to where it really doesn't lead to this movie being a masterpiece. And it's sad, because man, you could feel where this movie could have been a straight masterpiece. It was just that close. It was that close to being a masterpiece, and the little things held it back. Y'all have a good day.